All right, go ahead and pause it. Make sure you get all this stuff copied down. All right, so this is the last little tidbit that we have to cover today, and it's going to be a short little tidbit. But what we need to understand is when we're moving into electricity and electronics, we have to understand the concept of circuits. Because a circuit is actually what electrons flow in, what we have current in. And you have to understand, in order to, first of all, fix a circuit, you have to know what's inside of a circuit, okay? And so all circuits have four basic parts, but generally speaking, a circuit is a group of components that are connected together to perform a specific function. I mean, I've got lighting circuits, I've got control circuits, I've got charging circuits, I've got communication circuits, I've got logic circuits, I've got circuits coming out the behind. So, but every circuit out there has four basic parts, and we need to lock in on those, because that's the first thing that tells you what to check. Well, if I got a problem with a circuit, it's either this, or this. So knowing the four parts of a circuit is real important. So a circuit, group of components connected together to perform a specific function. The four parts of a circuit are the source, the path, the load, and the control device. Now the source provides the energy to cause the electron movement. So this is a voltage source that creates a difference in potential that makes those electrons want to flow. So the source is the device that causes the energy to cause the electron flow. The path is nothing more than conductors that connect the different components or parts together. The next one is the load. This is the resistance in the circuit that limits the amount of current flow. Yeah, but it also consumes the energy from the source itself. Now, not all energy, but the majority of electrical energy is consumed in the form of heat. And I'm just throwing this in there right now. But when I got that many electrons trying to slam through a little bitty hole, man, they slamming into each other. We got friction. This friction creates heat, and that heat is actually radiated away from the device or component. So as current flows through a resistance, that resulting friction creates heat, and that loss of heat is the loss of electrical energy. So, but beyond that, a load is the resistive element that consumes the energy from the source. And then the last one is the control device. There's not always a control device per se, but a lot of electronic components provide control over electron flow. But control devices are there to provide either on-off control, like we have for switches, turn lights on and off, or variable control if we want to control the dimness or brightness of a light. So we have control devices that provide either on-off or variable control over the current flow. And what I drew up here, folks, is just an example of a small circuit. If we look at this, this is like a D battery or a D cell, and we're going to talk about this and symbols to represent this stuff coming up. But this is my source. Now understand, inside of this can, I've got a chemical, and I've got a chemical reaction, and that reaction is taking electrons off of this post and slamming them up against the inside of that can. So what happens is now with all my electrons built up on the can itself, I get a negative charge, and where all of the electrons came from, I have nothing but positive charges. That's why on a battery, I have a minus sign and a plus sign. The minus sign shows you where all the electrons built up, and the plus sign shows you the post where they came from. So I create this difference in electrical potential between the can and the post. Well, that's a stretched rubber band waiting to happen. And I do have a conductive path up to a light bulb, and then from the light bulb, I come up to a switch, but my switch is open, and that's something about electrical devices. They ain't like doors. If it's open, electrons are not going to get through there. Switches are like drawbridges. If the drawbridge is open, you're not getting through there. Only when it's closed do you have a complete path to flow, a road to flow. So this switch being open, there's no electrons that can flow here. I got them just pushing one to go here, but they hadn't pushed the first one yet. As soon as I complete that path for flow, well, now them things start flowing like crazy. Just like links on a bicycle chain. They're all moving at one time. As soon as I close that switch, that light comes on because I've got electrons pushing through it. No, the electrons don't get to the light bulb before it gets to the switch because I got electrons everywhere. My garden hose is full. So basic circuit, control device is my switch. My load is my light bulb. And if you don't think electrical energy is consumed by heat, just go grab your light bulb while it's on. Don't really, it's like Tide Pods. Don't eat those either. And don't grab a hot light bulb. It'll burn. So anyway, consumed in the form of heat, we have the path and the source. So folks, this completes our first session. Study up on this. We're going to have a quiz next Wednesday, and then we'll have another video for you to watch. Make sure you have your calculator handy for the next video. All right? That's it.